In this demonstration, we'll be creating an email signature. I've already got my Google Chrome browser open, and as you can see, I'm currently on the home page for loyalistcollege.com, which is where we'll start. I need to get into the My Loyalist portal, which has an access button in the upper right corner, so I'm going to click on that now. And since I previously logged in, it doesn't require me to log in again because I'm on the same session. If you need to log in, just put your login credentials and get past the login, and you'll arrive at this screen, which is the My Loyalist portal. We're going to go straight into My Apps, which is where we can find the mail program. It's also where we find Canvas when we go to Canvas. So I'm just going to scroll around here, and I can see there is the button for my mail program, so I'm going to click on that now. And what it does is launches Microsoft Outlook in the browser. And that is the email system that Loyalist College is using, and that's where you will find your account. So you have the basic email boxes here, the inbox, sent items, and potential custom folders that you may set up for yourself. And I have a column here that shows me all my inbox elements, and this is where I would actually read the email if I was to click on one. Now you can always create a new email by clicking the new email button, and I'm going to click that now to demonstrate something. When you initiate a new email, it's going to come up with a default signature. This is the one that I've created already, and I will show you where to access that or to create a new one for yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to close this now, and you can see the tabs at the bottom here. I'm just going to close that email that I didn't actually need to send. So to set up a new signature, we go to our settings. The settings is this little gear icon in the upper right corner when you're in Microsoft Outlook. So I'm going to click on that, and it calls up a window. And it does have 4 main categories down the left here. And it is indeed mail that we want to go into. And the subcategory we need to click on is called Compose and Reply. And you'll see right at the top of that section, we have email signatures. The default email signature is under Outlook web signature right here. So if you see that, then you can come into the box below and start to compose. I'm just going to delete this right now and start a new signature. So this is what you should create. It'll be your first and last name. So I'm just going to use those words as the first name and then last name. On the second line, you should put your student number. So again, I'm just going to type that out, student number. And an example would be 500. I'll say 12345. And then on the third line, the program name. And I'm just going to say program name. I can leave that just like that at its default settings and click Save in the bottom here. And that would act as my default email signature. And it's pretty well as simple as that. Now, if you want to make it a little fancier, you can select all or some elements and style it with these style tools below here. This is for creating font color. Font is the style of the text, and there are groups of letters, the full alphabet, that have a certain characteristic to them. Let's see here. If we go over here, we can click on font, and you can see a little demonstration of what they look like, potentially. If I want to get fancy, Lucida handwriting right there. And if I want to make these look a little bit more business-like, maybe I'll go with Arial. And I can also change the sizes. And it would change the size of whatever's currently selected. So if I want to do them all at once, I can grab them all by swiping across. And you see this little shortcut toolbar may appear as well. You can also use that. Let's say I want to make it bigger here. 12 points. Points is a unit for text. Again, if I want to make something italic, bold, underlined, I could simply highlight it. Let's say I want that to be bold. There we go. We always click away to deselect, and then click and swipe across to select groups of text. I could make that italic. And I can always undo it by selecting it again and clicking on the italic button once again. So I'm actually going to unbold this as well. And I guess I'll leave that as the fancy font. Maybe I'll make it a little bigger though. I'll select that and we'll just go maybe to 14. And I can use my scroll wheel as well on my mouse for that. There we go. Okay, so let's say that's what I want to live with. I click Save. And then I click the X to complete that. And the next time I create a new email, you'll see that signature there. And there it is. So with respect to the email itself, very basics. We'll go over this a little more in depth. But to send a new email, obviously click the new email button. It has to go to somebody. So I'm just going to click, I have an email account that I use for students. Students at djolessons.com. So I can send it to that email box. Always add a subject line, and it should be very relevant and short. So I'm going to just call this one Test Signature. So that it's like a category name, if you will. And then if I want to put any copy in here, I'm just going to say Hello World as a sample bit of text. Okay, and there is my signature that already appeared. Okay, so I hit send, and away it goes. I'm just watching it here. It might take maybe up to 30 seconds to send. Usually it's not this long, but it just depends how fast the internet is at that point in time. Now, if I wanted to add a new signature while that's sending, I could always go back to Settings, over to Mail, Compose and Reply, and you can actually add a new one. I'm going to click New Signature. This way you'll have options if you want them. I'm going to call this one Fancy Signature. Okay, and then in here, I'll type in my first name again, last name. I'll use the same information, so student number. And I'll just go again, 500-12345, and then program name once again. Now, you may want to separate your name with a space. I'm just clicking at the end of the name, and I'm going to hit my Enter key to create a separate space there. Might be too much room, but it is an option for you for style. I'm going to put my insert in front of the S and hit backspace to delete that extra line. So I did say this one was going to be fancy, so let me highlight the full name, and we'll go look for some interesting fonts. Maybe I'll try Impact. And then maybe for the other two lines, I will try Courier New. It looks very computerish. There we go. Okay, and that's going to be my alternate signature called Fancy Signature. And I click Save, and I can close that. And again, once I compose a new email, I can go up to Signatures here, which is this icon, and it'll be in a list, and I'll just choose Fancy Signature, and there we go. So you can have a whole bunch of them if you want, but the main thing is that I want you to put your first name, last name, student number, and the program name. And that is our exercise on creating a signature for our college email.